over the Indian Ocean. It's out there. Sun's up there. It's about 8:30. Way out there's the ocean. Can you see it? Sparkling a little. Hazy day today. And right here's the pool where I've been swimming. And this is the terrace where I'm having breakfast at the hotel here at Le Petit Palais. I am the Roi de Petit Palais. And here to tell you, it is a pretty nice little spot. There's the lighthouse. We saw that in the previous video, I think, but there you can see it a little bit. I'm able to order a macchiato here because they wouldn't know what it is. I simply said, can you make a double espresso? And then use the steamer and steam just a little bit of milk, and this is what they did so beautifully. So beautifully. They gave me a fully separate thing with steamed milk in it. But I can just dollop in whenever I want. And then I told them, I said, what you want to do is take 1 spoon of that and go, that's what I always say to people. I make the sound effect. I did it in Amsterdam and I'm doing it here. And I just think that's fucking hilarious personally, but I gotta quit swearing. I'm about to see my mother. That's the whole fact of the matter. So yeah, here it is. Sunday morning. I can no longer sing that song to Tom. Tom hates that song, the Bertolt Brecht song, because from Threepenny Opera. Because on Sunday mornings, commonly I used to sing, Sunday morning, lies a body oozing life. Someone sneaking round the corner. Mac the knife. But Tom said, we were in Amsterdam together walking, and I was singing it, and he got pissed. Like, he was like, don't sing that song. And I was like, why? He goes, it reminds me of something. It was some commercial, some television commercial that he hated. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Bertolt Brecht, you know? And he was like, I don't care. And that's what commercialization has done to music. It's really destroyed so many great songs. They play the Beatles in the middle of the Super Bowl now for 3 seconds as a complete pitch object. Bob Dylan sells Cadillacs, you know? It's all gone straight down the tubes in that regard. When we talk about the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that's a period pre-digital. Some people say analog, but I don't really love the term analog for everything. I like it for some things. But the pre-digital era was less crowded. It was quieter. You played a song, like with a record player, and you put the needle down and you listened to the song all the way through. It wasn't chopped into pieces and bits and part of it parceled out. And that began with the movies, when the movies began licensing music to put into the movies, right? And the real transition from the digital era, the pre-digital era to the digital era, you know, you can see in a film like Donnie Darko, right? In Donnie Darko, what happens? Well, they take Echo and the Bunnymen and they say, hey, you've got a huge following right now, you're a big success on the college circuit, you know, and like, this film is made by a young guy, it's very, you know, edgy, and they get them to make a remix of one of their songs, and they lace it through the entire film, and it becomes synonymous with the movie. And then when you hear it at the club, you think of the movie, and all the kids remember watching the movie, and they know who else has seen the movie. That was sort of the beginning of really synthesizing the licensing so that music could be used, you know? Now here we're not talking about musicals, that's different, because that's what the idea was before. The songs were written for the movies, right? This is the use of music that someone has written in whatever way you want, to sell stuff or to soundtrack a scene. And it really does take away from the creativity of both elements. I mean, the director is using this music, not composing his own music to create emotion, of the film, I mean. And the musician, his music is being taken away from just being able to hear it. And it's being now used as a mediator for a visual experience, right? Well, that's gone straight, in the digital generation, that's gone straight into an exploded sense of glitch and TikToks. You know, shrinking the amount of a song you can know in order for it to be recognizable to you that can then be used. You know, you can use a simple hook by Dre in a 10-second ad now, and the effect is there. And I'm suggesting that that is bullshit. I mean, we should not have ever done that. We shouldn't be doing it now. And people think I'm, of course, they're like, I'm laughable, right? The idea of I mute the ads. I've muted the ads since I was a teenager. I mute the ads. I don't care where I am, I mute the ads. No matter what the situation is, mute the ads. I don't listen to ads. I avoid, if I can, on television, seeing the ads. I mute them and look away, or change the channel, you know? You have to actively prevent your mind from being invaded by these incredibly sophisticated marriages of audio and visual experience, which are trying simply to influence you away from what you actually think and towards what they want you to think. And that, all of that breaks down your ability to think for yourself. And that is one of the primary problems of the times we're living in. People lack critical thinking. They don't know how to think for themselves, and afraid they turn to others. And then some of those others, in fact, many of those others, have different agendas, whether they're financial or political. And now this person is being directed like a zombie. And that's no good. Can't have that. So these are the ways we come back from what we're in now. I'm not suggesting we go back to an analog world. I'm suggesting the pendulum has swung far too far to the digital side, and we need to come back and find a balance between the analog time and pace of the analog time and the digital time and the pace of the digital time. There has to be a happy medium that we can get to so we can sensibly progress all together and not rush people through things that don't want to be doing them. I think that is what a lot of that manipulation is about. Let's shove a bunch of people into a group, and then that group can make things happen via the mechanism of mob rule or, implication that everybody's doing it. There are the bells for Sunday morning here in Pondy. You get a nice view of the town behind me. It's pretty warm out here today. I may have to go inside. There's AC in there. The sun's starting to get up. They're having a game or something outside.